Episode 9 is often described as a film that will have many different emotional moments by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So when I look at Star Wars Episode 9, I will say the thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how JJ is going to create those emotional moments that are really going to resonate with fans around the world, and exactly what it's going to do for the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren in this story. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, one of which has all to do with a major hint and/or indicator of Reys Death in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of the Millennium Falcon ramp lowering with Kylo Ren walking down the ramp with an unconscious Rey in his hands. It's described that Kylo is wearing a similar outfit to what he wore on Jakku. He has a hood over his head, however without the mask. It's described that Kylo is said to walk in a way that he is injured and has part of his pants ripped with blood showing. It's said that Kylo is holding Rey in that bridal fashion from The Force Awakens and is described to be teary-eyed. Rey is said to have a wound of some kind in her abdomen area that may or may not be a lightsaber wound. It's also said that Rey has a large bruise on her head. The last goes over Kylo setting Rey on the ground, where he takes his hood off and places his hand on top of her forehead. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, a lot of people have been wondering and worrying on whether or not Rey is going to die in this story, whether or not, you like or dislike the character. Some people would actually like her to die, in an act of sacrifice or, an accident or something like that between, herself and Kylo Ren. But I think that when we're looking at the character of Rey, there really is a lot at stake when it comes to Disney and Lucasfilm. And the biggest question of all is, would Disney go so far to kill off the main hero in order to really give us that Kylo Ren redemption arc into bringing back the true hero, the last Skywalker, if you will, by blood, Ben Solo himself? So I want to go over the last part that really does interest me now, how Kylo Ren sets her on the ground and he takes his hood off and places his hand on her forehead. This somewhat reminds me of what Obi-Wan Kenobi did to Padme on Mustafar, and of course what Palpatine did to Anakin on Mustafar, basically transferring some kind of life force into that individual in order to try and save them. It's a force power, in case you guys did not know. So this most definitely is, of course, what Kylo Ren is attempting to do. Whether or not he's going to be successful is a big question open on the table for discussion. Now, the other one that I do want to go over is how he's holding her in a bridal fashion, walking down the ramp of the Millennium Falcon, which is a reverse of what we got in The Force Awakens. So I got to give credit to JJ. You can really see the parallels here. In The Force Awakens on Takodana, he's carrying Rey in that style and walking on board of his own shuttle on top of the ramp, where in this scenario, he's walking off of the Millennium Falcon down the ramp with Rey in his arms. And you can really see, the parallels here, how he was a dark side user boarding a dark side related ship in The Force Awakens with Rey, and now he's unboarding a light side related ship that he actually was, pretty much familiar with before his father died many years ago. So with that being said, the whole entire sequence here, it sounds quite interesting indeed, and the biggest question of all is what's going to happen to Rey. This is absolutely a major hint and/or indicator of Rey's death in Episode 9, and the best by far. Now, do I want Rey to die in this story? Not necessarily. I mean, I think it would honestly be a great twist. It would really change things up quite a bit, and I would accept it. I would accept it if they killed Rey off. If they wanted to do it the right way, and as a way to really give Kylo Ren that real redemption arc where he returns as Ben Solo. Like I always say, it's kind of like imagining it like this, where in the scenario if Luke Skywalker died at the very end of Return of the Jedi, and Darth Vader turned to the light and became a light side user, and lived on for many years. We could see something like that with Kylo Ren and Rey in this movie, a reverse of what happened in Return of the Jedi. So with that being said, I think that what JJ is aiming to do here is that most likely, and this is just my assumption, this sounds like a gotcha moment. And what I mean by that is you're going to think she's dead for a couple of minutes, and they're going to make it pretty much, quite certain and make the fans sure that she is indeed dead. And then out of nowhere, she's going to wake up and she's going to be fine, and people are going to be pretty much, blown away and pretty much realizing as to how she came back to life. And I think that they're going to do something like that. I just don't know if Disney would really have the bravery of killing off such a main character that a lot of young girls are into, and how, this really does sell a lot of toys for some of the fandom out there. I think that killing off a main hero, especially for the final film of the Skywalker saga, I'm not quite sure how it really would pretty much resonate with fans. I don't know if they would really accept it. Now, the other one that I do want to go over is how Kylo Ren is actually having his hood over his head as he's walking down this ramp without the mask on. So, like I say, this is very much like Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar in Episode 3. Again, another parallel of what J.J. Abrams is trying to create in this scenario. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.